Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday, and welcome to another episode of Tea and Coffee with Paula and
Jay. I had my phone in my hand.
I
She
know.
was looking at me. She was
How
all concerned. But
rude.
look at that. I nailed it. Just nailed
You
it.
professional,
Happy
you.
Thursday, everybody. Good morning. Nice to hear or see or not even any of those chats. Nice to have you here. How about that?
Yes. Good morning.
So give them the update on the homestead.
Go ahead. This is. I'll do it for you.
No, I want to. It's what I want. I want to knock.
There you go.
Generic is running.
Yes, good man.
Generic
Well done,
is
babe.
running.
Well done. You did great. You did great work. It's up and running. It's working. It's on the off, the on, the auto settings are all functioning perfectly. Great job. Thank you very much.
ChatGPT said I did a great job.
That's the new mistress, isn't it? It's not the laptop, it's the ChatGPT.
Who's the previous mistress, Danielle Smith? Because every time I chat with her, like, oh, you're talking to her again.
No. It's always been work related. So the laptop's
That's work related.
Yeah, the laptop's always been the mistress in our relationship, and now it's ChatGPT because it's moved to the phone.
She fell in love with the tapping on the laptop.
That's how I fall asleep sometimes. Yeah, you're working away middle of the night. It's little things.
That's how you keep it for 20 years. You get a little laptop that makes some clicky sounds on the keyboard, and she'll fall in love with it. But yes, the Generic is up. Got it running, activated. It's part of our system. It will turn on and off. It hasn't run a cycle yet because we're waiting for the power to go down enough for it to happen. It could happen during the show. So we'll find out a couple of things if that happens. First, did it work?
Yeah.
Second, does it impact the lighting? Because the portable generator will impact the lighting. Yeah. And third, will it cut anything off? Like, will the internet drop or anything? So
we'll find out.
So, folks, if you lose us for a second or two, Paula screwed up the installation.
No. I was completely hands off on this one, other than...
No, you helped me get the wires through the wall.
Yeah. Can you pass me that?
No, you did some things. And you were there when Jacob turned it on for the first time. Yeah, you like that. Yeah, Jacob, turn that knob on. Boom. And start straight up. So now we're very happy about that because that should provide a little bit less stress for the winter for us. And we do have that backup one. We're going to be good if there's anything that happens to the main one.
Yeah, worst case.
So we are a live and learn type of homestead because we've been through this. This will be the 5th year of winter now, where we got to keep our power on. So,
I'm excited. Great job, babe. And here's the sad but fun thing as well. On to the next project. You just got to wrap this one up. There's a few loose ends, not literal, but a few loose ends to finalize. And on to the next project that we've got going on to prep for winter and just life in general. Quite honestly, the next one, the fun ones to do will be the lights. We're upgrading our lights in both trailers for us and the boys in their rec room.
Yeah, and also I took the opportunity to ask ChatGPT a question I had about our electrical system because. When we connected our portable generator to it and ran it, everything seemed fine. But then we noticed that some power was missing. There seemed to be something was wrong, like 2 kilowatts worth of power. And I felt bad because I'm like, oh boy, we lost power while, trying to generate. It cost us money. But I asked it about it, and I learned about double neutrals and floating neutrals of portable generators. Inside of them, they're neutrals grounded to the ground. May not mean much to you, but you only need one bonded part of your system. We have that in the Solar. So this actually created a second one. I didn't know about this stuff. I just knew that there was a problem. So I would run a generator without a ground, and that got rid of the problem. But then the safety's gone. Because the purpose of a ground is in case there's a short, and it can ground itself out. But it worked, but then our safety was gone. So I asked ChatGPT. It taught me, and also taught me how to change our generator, the portable one, so that it gets rid of that problem. I'm like, sweet. This is the kind of thing that I think is handy with AI. It may take over the world, but at least our power will be working this winter.
Well, yeah, it's the new version or the next generation version of the encyclopedia. We used to go to books to learn something, DIY or whatever, and then it evolved to, I guess, putting that on a disc. Then it moved to putting it online, but now it's more interactive and with the AI. So it's just, to me, it's another evolution of our ability to learn and put information out there.
Yeah, and it was super handy. Like, look, I know a lot of people are afraid of it and they don't like it, but
I am one of them.
we can't. Yeah, it can't stop it. It's
Yeah,
here,
exactly.
and if it can work in your benefit, then give it a shot.
Mhm.
What I was able to do with it is I fed it all the manuals for all our systems and the generators and everything. I gave it all the info
Yeah.
on it, and then I asked it questions. And holy smokes, was it good! I got to the point where I took a picture of the screen of the settings, and it would say, "Hey, tweak this one. Oh, because you have these kind of batteries, change that one. Oh, because you want to do this, change that. Oh, you can." I was like, "Wow!" Not only was it tuning in our system better, I learned what the heck some of these settings meant,
Mhm.
and sometimes you need that additional piece of guidance.
Yeah, and that's a key thing as well. So I remember one of the times when ChatGPT first came around and you could ask it a question and it would give you an answer and it looked so professional and thorough, but it was complete gobbledygook.
Fabrication.
Complete. But now one of the things that you've also, I wouldn't say perfected, but you've realized in order to get a good response back, you need to actually provide it information. So like what you were doing, you were giving it the actual factual information from the manuals. So it could easily
Digest it.
yeah, it could easily digest it, and then you've now taught it something, so it can then respond to you when you have a question regarding the information you provided. So that's one way to utilize the AI. It's not just, hey, I'm going to ask you a question, and you're going to give me an answer, and I'm going to take as gospel. You've actually provided it with information for it to process, digest, and then you can ask the right question. So again, this is the modern day version of an encyclopedia.
And it went further than that because what I was able to do is take pictures of our battery banks, plural, because
Mhm.
we have two, and pictured of the wiring, how I wired it all up, and then kind of basically asked it, "Are we doing the right thing here?" And because I
Yeah.
wanted it to know as much about our battery system as possible, so it can give us educated answers on how to tweak the solar settings.
Mhm.
And yeah, that validation was helpful because I'm less concerned about our battery setup and know that it's a good one with the breakers and the way we set it up in parallel and et cetera, et cetera. And yeah, it was kind of neat to kind of have a second set of eyes, I guess.
Yeah.
The one thing that still creeps me out about the responses is it talks about itself like a person.
Yeah.
I would do this. I would tweak this. I would prefer. I'd be more comfortable with. It's like, whoa, like you're not an I. You're
Yeah.
it.
To be clear, not yet. You're not an I. Yeah, no, I agree. And look, I'm on two sides of the fence here. I appreciate the value that this AI interaction can provide. Like I said, I'm a proponent for it for learning, not for copying, but for learning. But yeah, you know me, believe in the rise of the robots.
Yeah, I think what they're working towards when you do this is they're making it feel like a companion, like
Oh, for
somebody you can talk
sure.
to. Like, I think you should change this, and I would
Well,
do this with mine. Like, you don't have a mine,
yeah.
and there is no I.
I love you, John. Of course I support you. Yeah, girlfriends.
This is John.
But no, you
Does he
can't.
have a generic
You
running?
you do have virtual girlfriends. They went from being, very robotic, and now they're very, very like the AI interaction behind it is very supportive and caring, caring. But this is also how they encourage people to be, hey, don't go out, don't stay home, be with your girlfriend, be alone, and listen to your government. They're here to help.
So either yesterday is going to be a success or a tragic failure for us.
Boom.
Well, there's not
Boom.
much that can go
Yeah.
wrong. There's breakers and all this kind of stuff
Yeah, yeah.
involved. So if things are go haywire, it's okay. And we haven't had a full hour out of that generic yet. We just
Yeah.
started it a couple times to make sure it worked.
Oh, and then a side question we got from locals here is it noisy? To me, it sounds like a generator.
Well, the truth is, I turned it on and then turned it off. And then when I got Paula and I asked her if she heard it, she's like, "Hear what?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, good."
Yeah. Is the generator very loud or quiet running? I would say no, it's not overly loud. And also we have it a ways from us.
Yeah.
So it's hard to tell. But to me, being standing beside it when it was running, not any louder than a typical generator. No, quieter than your portable ones. I'd say quieter than the portable ones, but no, it's not super silent or anything. It makes a sound.
Well, it should be a little bit quieter. It's inside a housing that has some
Yeah.
insulation on it. We also put it on the south side of our
South side.
shed. Our other generators were on the north side, closer to our trailer.
Yeah.
We would hear it. We specifically put it on the south side to kind of buffer some of the sound.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you didn't hear it running the first time. I thought for sure you come running out going, "Is that the new generator?" But nope, I was alone. I just turned it off.
All by myself.
You should hear her at dinner too. She sings all the time. It's
So
lovely.
do you.
Maybe.
Yeah, no, you're and I. No, we are a singing family. You will not see us on Canadian Idol, but no, we're always having a tune going on. If a word comes out that's a phrase from a song, we'll sing it. It's fun, and the kids do it too.
So yeah, one more big project done. I know Martin asks how we were doing.
Morning, Martin. I saw you in the chat already.
Yep. So Martin, there we go. We got our hour running, and it could kick on at any moment right now. I want to kind of hear it. I want to see.
Shoulder wiggle.
I want to know, is it's more stable power than the portable?
Yeah.
Because the portable fluctuates in a way that some of our lighting will flicker.
Yeah, flicker.
And I am OCD that way. Like, I hate that. Bothers me.
It does.
Yeah, it does. It does bother me. And I did a interview. I was on Alberta Rising yesterday at 10 o'clock, and we had the portable on, and even our main lights flickered a little bit and went on and off. I mean, dark for a second or two. And I was more worried that the internet would cut off.
Yeah.
But it didn't. But what I'd like to see is if it will be stable enough for our UPS battery backups to work, because the other ones would cause it to not charge properly. We'll see how stable it is.
Yeah, and Rhonda, I do agree with you here. AI is, hold on, I'll put it up on there it is. AI is so cool and handy, but it's going to be the demise of humans thinking for themselves. Just my thoughts. I agree. I agree, but when you have humans like, I know, like Jason, who enjoys thinking for himself, but just merely wants to add to his knowledge, it depends on the person using it. But yeah, I have a friend who's a pharmacist technician, but she also teaches. And she said from the moment the AI ChatGPT stuff came out, she could see a complete contrast in the work that her students were submitting. So it's very easy to spot, especially when you have a teacher that's been seeing your work for years previous, and all of a sudden there's a shift in not only the quality of the content you're providing, but even the way it's written. So yeah, it is out there, but I see it, I think Jason as well, it's a tool that we can use to enhance our own knowledge and benefit.
Was it Plato who wouldn't use books to write things down because he said knowledge will be lost if you don't have it in your head and you can't think about it and recall it?
Yeah,
it was one of those.
It was one of
Let
the
me ask ChatGPT if that was Plato, because Plato, whatever. Let's play with him as a play. I said Plato. So go ahead and chat while I look this up.
Yeah, so I'm just going to go through this. Good morning, everyone. I'm seeing your chats here. So no, we are super excited because this has been a couple years in the process, because we bought our Generac.
Plato or Plato?
Like Plato.
Okay.
And we did buy this. Yeah, I think original order date was October 2022. And then we got it in our hot little, well, actually, no, I don't think it was in our hands. We got it, it arrived at the electrician's place in February 2023. And yeah, we finally got to our place.
Well, there was a lot of work and cost to that.
Well, no, there is, but it's just a case of we might as well have it somewhere safe until we're ready. And then we had it delivered, and then it sat here for another year or so. But this was the year. And one of the key stumbling blocks we had was we needed to create the ground.
So it was Plato.
Yeah.
He just trusted writing as a substitute for living inquiry. His philosophy at the time was, if people do that, they'll stop thinking and they'll stop working their minds and remembering. But I'm sure over time everybody realized it's also a great way to remember, because the mind is fallible, and also to pick up other people's information and transfer it. At some point, books became very important. The printing press became really important. The same thing happened to that, like the chatter was saying. Same thing happened with the internet. People stopped, doing their own research. You start to dumb down a bit. On the flip side, that little bell curve thing, there's also people that use the tools properly and expand their knowledge and share that knowledge. So there's going to be two sides to this coin, no matter what, digital or otherwise. There's going to be two sides to this coin. But my biggest concern is more aligned with yours. At some point, it's going to advance beyond us, and then we're done. We're done.
Rise of the robots. Yes, and also just to finish off what I was saying, we need to create a base in order to put the generator on. So that was a bit of a pain in the butt. We've got to get that done first before we even place the generator and begin the ball rolling for the install. But all that got done this year.
Yeah, I looked at how to do it myself. Okay, the whole purpose was DIY. This is why we got this property. This is why we do a lot of things ourselves. That is our purpose. But sometimes you get intimidated because you really don't want to destroy a $4,000
Sure.
machine. I've had some mistakes where I've destroyed generators, as you know. I made some lively errors that I learned from. And this is one I didn't want to destroy. I really had a strong empathy towards this machine, so I didn't break it. If it wasn't for ChatGPT and the assistance there, I would have been far more cautious or slower on the process and getting it done, and we may not have gotten it done. But we did have it quoted. It was $3,000 just to put the electrical portion in.
Yeah.
And that's not the gas. And the gas would have been another $1,000. So to have a professional install it would have cost what the whole unit cost. And we were able to save that. We spent less than 100 in parts, and we bought one tool. Now I own a tool, a hammer drill or whatever. And it's installed all the way to the point where Generac was happy, and they give us the activation, and the little lights blinked. I'm like, oh yeah,
It's alive! It's alive!
But I know you're pleased that we were able to save on it. But more than saving the money, I understand it better.
Yes. Which that means I'm the lucky one that gets to now be taught from Jason on how to run it.
Surface level, like you won't have to get in there on the wiring side of things. But we have a cold weather kit on there, which is good. We have the 2-wire start, which is good. Everything's wired properly, works good, and we're going to buy a backup battery in case something happens during winter. And now we're working on making sure our propane lines don't freeze, because that could happen in Alberta. It has happened once to us, but we do have a gasoline-based generator as a backup as well. So we have a few tick boxes.
Oh yeah. Like I said, you live and learn every year, every summer, every winter, whatever. You improve from the year before. Yeah.
But that's a long homestead update for you all, because frankly that took well over 2 weeks worth of work to get that thing done collectively, and we're sharing it with you. We're pretty excited.
Oh wait, hold on. So Crystal, we had some flurries a couple of days ago because we had really chilly, windy weather. But there are parts of Alberta that has snow. Friends of ours, the husband works a little bit up north, and there's already snow on the ground there. Not a lot, but there is. So it's coming. But right now we've got cloudy sun till Sunday. So, and decent temperatures.
Generators should kick in a couple times, and we'll see.
Yeah.
All right. So here we go to the news. There's not a ton happening. Again, we don't follow the Blue Jays, who are up 3-2 now.
Yay though.
If you want to watch that one, the World Series is going to be on again. I don't know, a day or two from now. I'm not sure. We don't watch it, but I did check the score. They're up now 3-2.
And we get Blue Jays in this neck of the woods too. It's nice.
The actual birds.
The actual Blue Jay.
Yeah, I think one was following us around a door knocking, because you always found a Blue Jay almost everywhere we went.
Blue Jays and magpies are everywhere.
Yep. All right. So Detective Helen Cruz, Donald Best has posted this. I've known about this for a while. They're working on a feature film about Detective Helen Cruz, and he's very excited. He thinks it's going to go all the way to the Toronto International Film Festival, September 2026, maybe. And so this is a story of what they did to her, and this is the kind of things we need to do so that the public is a little bit more aware of what actually happened. Especially if you're a CBC type of person, sometimes you'll watch documentaries that look professionally done, and they take it more seriously, which is good. So I'm looking forward to it. I haven't seen any of the clips. I may, try and see if my buddy can pass over the trailer. I won't put it public if that's what he's trying to do. But I would like to see how this works out. But she's a great woman. We've met her a few times. She texts me all the time. She sends me Happy Thanksgiving and Merry Christmas and all that stuff all the time.
And by the way, it's a very cool name to name drop, by the way, because I'd be honored too, having Detective Helen Cruz be in our friend circle. It's very cool.
Yeah, no, she's a very good woman. Godly. Actually, the last text from her was her sons, all three of them got on the honor roll. She sent a picture of them holding their little certificate, and Mama Goose is proud of her pups or something like that. Yeah, of course she is. She's a good mother too.
Yeah.
So looking forward to whatever's coming out of Donald Best in that camp. I know there's a group of them working really, really hard to let the world know what's going on with this story and get that truth out there. So congratulations to Donald and his team. And I'm looking forward to whatever it is that comes out. So here's an old post that got brought to my attention from Julius. I don't even know how to say that. Julius what?
Rochelle?
What she said. And it's a post that he he did on election day. So it was before all the results were in. And if you read it, he basically predicted the last 6 months or 8 months or so. Yes, the Liberals were going to win, and the main reason is the patronage. Can you help me with that?
Where is it? Patronage.
Patronage network, which basically means when the government starts paying a group of citizens, they will not want that government to change. And if they can get to a tipping point, that government will stay in power forever. And normally this is exactly how tyrannical governments come into play. And he also predicted in here 3 ways that this could end. The West leaves, Quebec leaves, or major tariff war with the U.S. And this was before the tariff war with the U.S. kicked in. So he was looking down a crystal ball that was seeded by the history of how these governments work in the past. And he's doing what everybody should do. Take a look at what happened before and make a prediction. He nailed it. So go through this post. It's a long one, but check it out. He nailed it. And what I actually highlighted here was it's worth a read. This post was written on April 28, 2025. Julius nailed it. The Patronage Network. Did I get it?
Yeah.
One, and the status quo was maintained, just like he predicted. He highlights that the only way to stop this is if there's separatist movement from the West or Quebec, or possibly a full trade war with the U.S. Turns out all 3 are happening, so maybe he's right. We are
Trifecta.
we are on the verge of real change. God willing, he's right. We'll see. Okay, like we'll pay attention to this. I would love to see the ship to be righted. We go ahead and have a calm future for our children. I that's where I want it.
Yeah.
I know I got 40, 50, maybe 50 years left in me.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, maybe 60. I don't know. We're at that
You go
point.
when I tell you to. You got plenty of time, my friend.
Well, I'm going before you. I can't handle
Oh,
that.
gosh.
Yeah. Anyways, she loves you when she can't imagine.
Tells you you're not allowed to die.
Yeah, fair enough. But anyways, the point is, I'm not worried about my future. I can handle a lot of things myself. I'm worried about the next generations and trying to make it better and secure and safe. And I absolutely think this is a fight worth fighting. So I like where he's using history for this. So historically, this is how it goes. The government ends up paying for the votes through programs. There's a tipping point where they pay so many people that they can't get unelected. Then they get tyrannical because they got full power. Nobody's going to kick them out. And they basically spend their way to power on the backs of everybody until the back breaks. And then you got bankruptcy.
That is what we're heading towards here in
Yeah,
Canada.
the one thing that historically didn't happen that will happen this time is the International Monetary Fund to bail out and prolong those kind of things. So historically, like the Romans didn't have a global bank to bail them out. They just collapsed. So this will be prolonged until the whole world collapses. So this is the same thing over and over again, just on a grander scale. So pay attention, folks. And I don't want to see it happen. Like I said, that ship needs to be straightened out. But history repeats itself, especially if you don't learn from it. We predicted this totally. There's a strike likely coming, and surprise, surprise, Lusakic is behind the idea that even students should strike now. So his daughter, it appears, is what he says. Young Miss Lusakic is leading organizing student strikes, student walkouts, because this is the side of history this guy wants to be on. He wants to just go against no matter what the Alberta government does or Daniel Smith does. And he's even raising his next generation to go ahead and do that. I don't have a problem with students standing up for things, like we had Josh Alexander standing up for things. But standing up for back to school, like we're going to leave school because you're back to school.
Well, because they've been told that they're special and the government needs to take care of them and fund them. And you're not going to be getting a good job because the cis patriarchy is going to be taking it and blah blah blah. So you protest, school's not going to do anything for you anyway. It will take care of you.
And they're using gang type of things here, like gangs. What I mean by that is they said, if you can't participate in our walkout, wear red instead. So what, gang colors now? So you're going to represent with red? Like if you're wearing red, you're part of this. And if you don't want to be part of this, you got to make sure you wear blue or something.
Gosh, they love their colors, don't they?
Well, this is annoying because what you're doing is you're teaching the next generation to do this kind of thing. And then what are they actually protesting? They actually didn't say what they're protesting. They just say student walkout, where, bring posters, when, who, wear red. Like, what are you actually protesting?
Yeah, and correct, squirrel nuts. They are being adult directed. Of course they are.
Correct. Of course they are. My daddy, he's such a 450,000 people support him. He's a big hero, which is great. You can have that little hero thing with your children. But what are you raising here? You're raising a disruptor who is disrupting for what purpose? If this was against universal bathrooms, I'm behind it. If this is against politics in the classroom, I'm behind it. But what is this actually against? It's against a return to the classroom. I'm not behind it.
Yeah.
So I find this annoying. Thomas, you are on the wrong side on all the issues now. You are by far the strongest NDP leader in Alberta at this stage. Nancy should step down. You should step up and just make it official at this point.
Yeah, and I agree with you here, Rusty. Let me just put it up here. No, students are not adults. Their political opinion doesn't matter. Encouraging them to walk out in support of a union is an abuse of authority.
Thank you, Rusty. Love the picture. And absolutely, until you can vote, you should be learning. But in certain situations where it's against something like the universal bathrooms, like Josh Alexander in his Catholic or Christian school, absolutely, they should stand up to that. But what are they walking out for? That's the first question I have here. And they're walking out because they're there.
Yeah.
The fact that they're back in the classroom, they're there.
Yep.
Answers for Sean. So our two good friends. So Dr. Bowden, she showed her jersey on our episode when she was hanging out with us. We talked about Sean and Dan. And then Dan, he's a big fan of hers. So proud to call her a friend. And we're so proud to call you both friends. You guys are great fighters. We're going to be posting the poster for the December 13th premiere of the movie we're working on with Dan, a documentary that we're working on with Dan about Sean. I've got 2 more interviews I want to get done, and then we got all interviews done. It's jam-packed with information and people you know, and then Dan himself is going to do a virtual appearance in Red Deer. So get your tickets. Go to thelevingshow.com for that one.
Yeah, I'm going to go put in the link right now.
And you'll find it on our pinned post by the end of the day, because everything's confirmed, booked, deposited, everything's go. This is a go. So if it's 1 or 1,000 people show up, we're doing this event in honor of Sean. So go ahead and join us. It would be great to see you all there. Tickets start at $30 and you get 2 movies. You'll get the Dan movie with about Sean Hartman.
Yep.
And you'll also get the Dean Rainey. Why can't we talk about this? And Dean will be there, along with Dr. Shoemaker, Dr. Speaker, and Dr. Hodgkinson.
Yep.
So come and meet them all in person and have yourself a good time and watch 2 movies with us. What's going on in BC? So David Creighton's all over this. They've been doing a lot of aerial photography and videos, slow-moing it, screenshotting it, and doing some counts. And what they came up with was 284 birds. That's 100 less than when they started. So, and this is just from observation. It's not an official count or a hand count or a from one pen to the other. Let's make sure it's precise. This is from aerial video and photography being done with zoom lenses. You can see why they want to tarp this thing.
Yep.
And the best they can come up with is 284 birds accounted for. This is not cool. If they are being called against the Supreme Court, what you're going to see here is there's no consequences.
Yep.
I guarantee you that even if this is true, and we're not claiming it's true, we are watching and see what's going on here. If this is true and they're calling those birds against the Supreme Court's stay, nothing will happen. This is the government agency.
Asking for forgiveness.
It's not like they can put the CFIA into jail. It's not like they can fine them. Like, that's our tax dollars.
And they're not providing any positive tests. So it's not like, hey, we had to do this. Look what we've got.
No. Forget that part. I'm talking about the accountability of the government agency overreaching.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like I don't even want to argue whether or not the birds should be tested at this stage. If they are going against the Supreme Court order to stay, what will be the consequence to them? And that's what people are going to be upset about. Because if they are doing that, they're going to learn that there is no consequence to them. They're not going to get fired. The leader, or the director, or the president is not going to lose his job. They might get a fine, and taxpayers pay it, and then it's done.
Yeah, exactly.
There may be a damages award to the Universal Ostrich Farm, which is a check from the taxpayers.
Mhm.
So this is a part of this highlighting here. No matter what, taxpayers will be paying for this, whether they do good or bad. And that could be why, if they are calling them, that could be why they're doing it. They know there's no consequence.
Yeah.
You and I could look at jail if we go against an order from the court. The CFIA looks at their next call. Like there's no consequence. So this is what I'm highlighting here. I'm not even arguing whether or not they should be killed or tested or whatever. I'm not even arguing that part of this. I'm talking about the government agency overreach. If it's happening, what are the consequences? And right now, it would only be Canadians being upset, so they don't care.
Yeah.
That's if they're doing this. But 284 birds with the last count, not an official count. It's a guerrilla type account because the people are doing what they can to try and see it.
And there's no official count because the CFIA won't allow it.
Yeah, and I see our good friend is on. We'll bring you on in right a moment there, Big Nico. But we'll just finish up the news here. This is ridiculous. This is found in schools. So they're politically advertising in schools, calling Danielle Smith a clown and giving QR codes for the kids. They're making it look like CNN. There may be a CNN headline there, but CNN didn't paint her as a clown. And this is in the Bow Valley High School in Cochrane, Alberta. So they're politicizing and propagandizing, and I probably just made up a word there, the children in the school. So when they go back there, this is what they see. And this is why you're seeing the walkouts. Because they believe this stuff. And it's the same
indoctrination in the school system.
The same people that put up the flags and you can be a cat are doing this too. This is why I think the ATA needs to be abolished. Unions, the whole thing needs to be reworked. This is exactly way overboard. And I hope Danielle Smith and her team takes a look at this. Last one, we got the unions. So they are calling for a general strike if necessary. Alberta's unions declare their intent to bring down the UCP government as they expose the idea of a strike that would see hundreds of thousands of Albertans walk off the job. I'm not sure how you bring down the government doing that. I think you're going to bring down unions doing that. But this is also showing who's actually behind this. The NDP. Who's most interested in the UCP being brought down? NDP. And what are the NDP promising unions? Everything they want. So the unions get behind them. So here, it's all political. It has nothing to do with education or even teacher salaries. This is all political. All right, on that note, it's now time for Big Nico Suave.
Big Nico.
And let's go ahead and bring him in. I saw you smile there,
Morning.
Nico Suave. How are you?
What's going on? That's funny. Never been called that before. Been called a lot of names.
You were called that yesterday when I announced you were coming on.
Yeah.
Because you're a smooth guy. You're very good at what you do.
Well, I appreciate that. Sucking up at the beginning of an interview is always good practice. Good stuff.
There you go.
We call it buttering up, and this was real butter, no margarine around here. But no,
I don't need that crap either.
Yeah. Well, you and I have been working on things a lot recently. We do that Saturday show, which is now every second Saturday. We made the executive decision to do that every second Saturday. It gives us the ability to really work on the episodes and also have a life.
I was going to say, and have a life with your family. That'd be nice. Yeah, we like you guys. We want to see you.
Oh, you married us for a reason. But you also reached out with another idea, and I thought, holy smokes, this is great. I can't believe we're actually heading in this direction. I didn't think we'll see this day where Christianity takes a forefront. It's about time. It's about time. And you had an epiphany. Maybe you were a little divine or something, but you want to share with us what you're thinking about?
Yeah, listen, I've been, first and foremost, thanks for having me on, but I've been, I'm a Christian. I've been a Christian for a few years, and I've been recording Christian content, but I've never been able to put it together properly. As in, I've never been able to have a Christian show that wouldn't be preachy. Because I'm not a preacher, I don't claim to be one, nor am I interested in being one either. But I'm a bridge builder. In the same way as I record with a leftist every day, I want to bridge the gap between the people out there that know that something's missing and Christianity. I want to point the way. I don't want to be a preacher. I don't want to be the person telling them what the scripture is saying. I just want to be a bridge builder and I'm not your typical Christian. I'm big, muscular, tattooed guy that likes to swear, that doesn't apologize for my ideas, that will call out pastors in their faces for being weak sauce, for being weak leaders, just like I do our political leaders. And yeah, I came up with the idea that I would start talking with the freedom fighters out there, because it turns out they might not talk about this, but a good 90% of the people that stand up for our rights are Christians, and that's why they do it. They do it out of their Christian values, because we know that freedom is everything. If you read your Bible, if you believe in Christ, he gave us free will. So from the get-go, we were given freedom. Even our God gives us the freedom to choose to love him or not. So it just makes sense that the freedom fighters out there are mostly Christian. I would say a good 90%, but they don't necessarily talk about it. So the idea came, and I'm going to start talking to people next week. So the plan is to have 2 episodes a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 6:30 p.m. live, like I always record live. And I'm starting with Arthur Pawlowski on Tuesday, which would make 100% sense. Not that it's going to be a surprise for anybody that he's a Christian. I don't think that comes as a surprise at all. But I'm going to talk to people like Chris Barber. I'd love to have Tamara Lynch on the show too, because I believe that she is a Christian too. So I'm going to really start talking to Christians behind the scene, and the goal is to inspire people to see, to just show people that being a lukewarm Christian is no good. But I don't just want to talk to Christian. And I think that's the issue that I see with most podcasts, most content out there, is really preachy. It's trying to talk to existing Christians, but I want to reach out to people that are not. I want to reach out to people that know something's missing in their life. Maybe they don't have the courage to stand up yet, but if they start seeing the reasons why regular people stand up all the time for our rights, maybe they'll finally come to the conclusion that they can do the exact same thing. And for the longest time I've asked myself, does courage come from what comes first, courage or faith? For the longest time I believed that you needed to be courageous to have faith. And the more I ponder it, the more I believe that my courage comes from my faith. So this is what I'm going to try to put out there. And to give you an idea, the tagline is that wokeness is the cancer and Christianity the remedy.
Okay, well, that's certainly a good slogan. And I think what you've discovered is the same thing we've been noticing as well. And there's a lot of people with faith and the fighting side of things, whether they're freedom fighters or vaccine or whatever issue. If they're fighters, then they likely have faith. And you're correct. I think faith comes first before courage, because it's built on the faith that you believe God has your back. If you do the right thing, he's a shield. He's guiding you. Like, all of this is part of faith. And if you're focused on doing the right thing to your God, then you have a lot of courage, because, well, why are you afraid? you got the King behind you. Jesus is supporting you. So it's very difficult for you to actually be afraid if you believe that and you believe you're doing the right thing. And I've seen that overlap all over the place. And Christianity specifically seems to be the dominant one amongst many here in Canada. I would recommend Melissa McKee from Bikers Church, and go to Bikers Church. It's in Ottawa. You'll absolutely love that place. That was one of the only churches that stayed open, and nobody messed with it. The government didn't even bother to mess with it. One of the only places that stayed open the entire time. You'll love them. Pastor Rob McKee. McKee was great as well. And I love Pastor Pawlowski, but good luck trying to stop him. Like, while he's talking, like, you got to wait for your turn. He'll let you know when he's ready. But it's a fantastic interview as well. And this is what Charlie Kirk was working on. He was trying to bring faith back into the mainstream, because it should be there. It shouldn't have been ever evicted. But I think you've put a lot of these dots together. You're very right. And one thing that Pastor Arthur said on our show when he was on is, beware of schizophrenic Christians. the ones that are only on Sunday, and then they're devils on Monday, is the way he put it. That exists too. Okay, so that exists too. But for the most part, I think you're close with your 80-90% mark. They're Christian. And we found a church that we're very happy. I can't wait for Sunday now. Like, I'm looking forward to getting back to this church. We're very excited on this end.
Yeah.
And this is another thing. I saw one of the comments. One of the comments is referring to the point that they don't go to church anymore, and I get it. I haven't been in church in a while either, because I cannot find a church. Yeah, exactly. Lori Dodd saying I'm a Christian too, although I don't go to church. It's hard to find a denomination I prefer in my area. You know, I traveled. We did 30 states in the U.S., so we've been to churches all over North America. It's hard to find, even in the Bible Belt, it's hard to find a church that the people will, the pastors or the leaders will actually stand up for what's right. Even in Alabama, where we spend a lot of our time, the church that we were going to didn't even close during lockdown. And we're talking Alabama. They did not have the restrictions that we had here. And yet they still closed down during COVID. So even in the States, so it's not just a Canadian thing, it's a North American thing. But the point I was trying to make is that you don't need to go to church. At the end of the day, I've had better conversations with Christians over food, just while eating or while playing games. As weird as this sound, like, we have a lot of Christian friends, and we play board games with them. And I've had better conversations then than I have in church with pastors. I've been challenged way more just in regular conversation with well-educated Christians, people that know the scriptures, and just back and forth conversation trying to make sense of it. So you don't need to go to church for that. Church, at the end of the day, is wherever Christians gather to have Christian conversations. That's it. That's the church. And it's unfortunate, because I think there's a lot of Christians out there that either go to church on Sunday just because they feel that they need to, because that's what Christians are supposed to do, because they can't find somebody good to go to either. It's such a mess right now, but I'm hoping that the show that I'm trying to put together will inspire people to believe again, to not be lukewarm, because you'll be spit out. You cannot be lukewarm. You're useless if you're lukewarm. So hopefully that inspires people to wake up, to start doing the right thing. And, you know, this is the why I think it's going to work, is because it's a two-step process, right? So I record every day with a leftist trying to find common ground with liberal people to put a place together where people can have civil discourse. Just yesterday, we had a bunch of new people showing up on the show. Massive amount of debate. I think half of the show was me debating with a guy. Great comments, but we were just going back and forth between his comments and me answering him. Imagine that guy subscribed by the end of the show, absolutely even thanked us for the show. Imagine if I can take a few of those people that know that I'm a Christian, bring them over to the other show. Because that's what I want to do. I want to use the bridge, the bridge gapper, the gap bridging, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to make up terms, but gathering the people somewhere along the lines that we have more in commons than not, and those that want to know more can start to learn about the freedom fighters' personal reasons why they do it, because a lot of the time they don't speak about that either. Like, you don't hear that in the news. That's not what they focus on. They focus on trying to stand up for our rights, so they focus on the rights that they're standing up for, but they don't necessarily explain why they do it. And to me, it's as important why as it is what you do. You need to tell people why you do it to give them a hope.
100%. And wow, I'm glad we're having this conversation already.
Yeah.
Because when I started off, I had some people publicly say, I like what Jason's doing, but he brings in God. That's the one thing that I wish he didn't do. And so I did more. I'm like, okay, well, like, if you actually like everything I have to say, because I'm fighting for justice and what's right and against overreach, against globalists, but you don't like the God portion of it, the religion portion of it, maybe you got to search your soul a little bit, because that's what's guiding me. Like, I'm absolutely standing on the platform of Christianity in order to get to this point where I'm not afraid of the carnies of the world and to call them out, not afraid when death threats come in. and not afraid when people get upset because I'm speaking truth. And I like how you put that. You're trying to bridge between bridges. So you're creating a path. You're creating a path for people to follow, and it's up to them to follow it. So if, as they cross one of your bridges, I'm like, oh, we can talk to the right side now. Oh, we can talk about faith.
Yeah.
Oh, faith is a way to kind of guide and support you. These are great paths that you're creating between these bridges. So keep it up, my friend. We had a comment here that I wanted Paula to bring up. Look at that power. I just point and the comment came up. Isn't that
Et
great?
voila.
Yeah. So what about us Christians who had their faith tested beyond belief? You're the best type of Christian, because that's going to happen. We have it tested all the time. You want to address that one, Nico? Because I think it's a very valid question.
You know, I see it the complete opposite way. God will never give you something you can't handle. It's just up to you to have faith. So it's not your faith that's tested, is you. You're the one being tested, not your faith. You are, because if it's not, it's up to you to have faith. You have the choice. It's 100% up to you. Do you have faith or not? My faith is never tested. I'm tested. I'm the one that's being tested, but I have 100% faith. If it wasn't for my faith, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today. There's no way. I wouldn't have had the past 5 years. Like the past 5 years, that's completely, you know, I was having a conversation with a friend yesterday and I said something without really thinking about it, but then it made a lot of sense. I've always been the outman. I've always been the guy that didn't fit in, that wasn't like other people, but I've always tried to fit in. I've always tried to belong, even though I knew deep down that I was not that guy. And like the black sheep, if you will, I've always been the black sheep. But over the past 5 years, I did the complete opposite. I just said, screw it. I really don't care anymore what if I fit anywhere, because I don't need to fit anywhere. I was made for a reason. I have 100% faith in my God that I'm doing what he wants me to do, and that's all that matters to me and my family. At the end of the day, I'd rather, I don't want to face my God and not have an answer as to why I didn't do more. Why didn't I do what I was supposed to be doing, what I was made for? Because it was hard? Yeah, no, that's an excuse. That's the type of conversation I never want to have. So again, it's not your faith that's tested, it's you, brother, that's tested. And Trevor is one of the guys that's always on my show. So absolutely love that guy. And yeah, it's our faith, brother. It's all about you. You choose to have faith or not. So you're the one that's tested, not your faith.
And for Trevor, like I've shared this on our show a couple times. When I woke up, born again, if you want to call it that way, was 2012, late 2012. And my wife knows this. Lots of things were going wrong. Lots of things were going wrong. A family relationship there was falling apart. We lost our sister to death, drugs, that kind of stuff. Lots of things were going wrong.
Yeah.
And my business was collapsing because I had the wrong partner, my father. And I started to feel like I'm the cause of my problems. And I said, well, I got one more path here. Just turn myself over to God and believe I can do whatever he gives me, and believe that. And it was almost like an instant light bulb that went off when I made that decision. Like, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back to religion because I walked away from it for so long. And I said, well, I will only be able to get what I can handle, just like we said a moment ago. And a whole relief went over me, a physical one. I could feel that. I felt the burden lifted. And I said, well, this is how I'm going to now live my life from this moment on. And things got great. Like, great. I could all the problems didn't go away. Like, don't get me wrong, the problem still existed, but whether or not I carried it as a burden versus a challenge that I can accept and handle changed. And then from that moment on, you know, we had our sons, life got good, dealt with problems, made tough decisions, and things were just much, much better. So because of that, I felt I was born again late 2012, and I would never turn back, because that was a very difficult path to be on. Yeah. Rusty brought up a good point. And by the way, there's going to be lots of interaction with the audience on this one because they're chatty today.
Yeah.
I am one of the ones who complains about God talk. So here's what I think Rusty may be trying to get at. Nobody likes to be preached at. Nobody likes to be told that they're wrong. Nobody likes to be told what they need to do. That's not religion. Okay, yeah. So if that's how you're feeling, that's not religion, because religion is you got willpower. It's up to you to do it. You're supported, but you're not pushed. So maybe what Rusty might be responding to, and Rusty, please comment if there's more to this, is people who preach to you and tell you what you should and shouldn't do. That's not religion in my books.
Well, he has this comment here. So he says, yes, Shakespeare has its uses, common morals, but I can't do faith without seeing.
Well, yeah. Well, what Rusty had, well, for me, 2012, I saw it with my own eyes when I decided to go ahead and rely on my faith and not rely on all the burdens myself. There was a huge change in my world. So I saw it, and maybe you'll hit a crossroads at some point too, Rusty. And today could be the day for you. What are your thoughts about that, Nico? Sometimes people have a cross to bear, and if they believe that's just for them to bear, then it's difficult. But if God's going to assist you, then things get a little bit lighter.
You know, I found God at the bottom of a pit. There was nothing else there. I was alone in the woods during COVID as I'm literally losing everything. The career I built, the friends won't talk to me anymore. My mom tells me that I deserve to lose my job for not getting the whoop whoop. And what else am I going to rely? Nothing. There was nothing there. There was no lying anymore. It was just me. And what am I supposed to do from here? And this is the beauty of the thing. When you remove everything that's not important from your life, what is left? God. Why? He created everything. It's pretty simple when you think about it. That's the only constant throughout the universe, is that there's a creator. That's the only constant that I can see. All the rest is always in flux, but at the same time, man, remove all the fluff from your life and what's left. I understand the faith comment. It is not easy to have faith in something that you cannot touch. But I'm a heavy meditator. I'm somebody that has spent a lot of time alone, a lot of time in my thoughts, and a lot of time just praying / meditating. And I've met God multiple times in my life. This sounds weird for most people, but I've been touched by God last year in church. That's the last time he came to me in church and touched me. And I'm a 235-pound man, and I was crying like a little girl. I had nothing to do with the church. It had nothing to do with the service. Nothing at all. I was in my own thoughts. I was not paying attention, but it just turned out I was in church. And he put his hand on me to say, son, I was always there. And coming from a man that was abandoned by his father when I was younger, the message was loud and clear. I knew what it meant from the get-go, that I've never been alone. I just didn't know. So next time you have an intuition, ask yourself, is it intuition or is it God trying to talk to you? When you have something on your heart, ask yourself, does it come from you or does it come from somewhere else? Does it come from a higher power? Is it just maybe that you're not paying attention? If you don't have faith in God, is it just maybe that you believe in coincidences and you're not really paying attention? Because this is one of the biggest difference. If you speak to atheists, they believe in coincidences. I don't. I've stopped believing in coincidences a long time ago, because coincidences to me is the lack of recognition of what's actually going on in the present moment. If you start really paying attention to what's going on around you, you start to see that your whole life has been leading to something. I can tell you that my skills that I've built over the past 20 years in telecommunications as both a tech and a sales engineer gave me all the skills that I needed to do what I'm doing today. If it wasn't for the fact that I'm very analytic based, I wouldn't understand algorithms. If it wasn't for the fact that I sold millions of dollars of contracts to high-end customers, I wouldn't have been so comfortable in front of a camera, because I wouldn't have known how to express myself, how to take very complicated technical concepts and explain them in layman's terms to just regular people that I'm trying to get money out of. So everything I've done throughout my life, that all the pains that I've been through led to this, prepared me to be able to do what I'm doing today. And this is no different for anybody out there. You just need to take the time to sit down and pay attention to what has happened to you. What are the lessons you're supposed to learn from it, and then ditch your past. You know, Dr. Peterson explained that years ago, where the reason people are so worried is that they keep living in the past. They keep worrying about what happened. But one thing that's amazing about our brains is the day you make peace with your past, it's no longer relevant as long as you remember the lessons that you've learned. Never forget the lessons, but the actions themselves, whatever hurt you, is irrelevant. As long as you remember what the lesson is, carry on, learn from it, and move on. It's very simple.
That's perfect, actually. Go ahead,
yeah, I love this line from Colleen. God incidences, no coincidences.
Yeah. Bring up that
Never
Rusty
heard that
comment,
one.
the recent one there
Hold on a
about
second.
the CBC there.
Rusty Wiener.
No,
I know
this
that's
is
not his
good.
name. Oh no, I love him. He's always
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
my show. I absolutely love that guy. That guy's awesome.
Yeah, so he's highlighting here exactly where I think the trouble is. I grew up in a CBC confirmed Christian cult. We'll just give CBC some credit
Yeah.
here. Okay, we won't dismiss CBC on this one. My first refusal was the masking. My spider senses went off, and I just couldn't do it. Rusty, you've nailed it. Look,
Yeah.
you can't be forced into religion. It's a personal relationship with God. Your relationship with God, not what anybody else tells you. Because if that's the road that you're looking at it from, you're going to reject it. Your spidey senses are right, and those spidey senses you're talking about, that's God's intuition for you. That's
Yeah.
God speaking to you, telling you that's not my religion, that's not my path. Reject that. So your spidey senses is actually your creator telling you to reject it because it's the wrong one. Your relationship should be directly with God. That's what Christianity is about. I had to sit down with Melissa McKee and ask her, what's the difference between Catholic and Christian? She broke it down as simple as this. Catholic, you go through the Vatican to get to God. Christian, direct relationship to God. Simple as that. So if you believe you can buy your way into heaven and you can just, say your rosary, and as long as the Vatican forgives you, you're in, well, then that's Catholic. But if your relationship direct with God, then you don't need anybody in between you. You don't need a pope. You don't need a Vatican to do that for you. And I got to tell you, since that conversation with her, I've seen things that I did not like. For example, the Pope was blessing a block of ice because climate change is real. And you have that at that level. That, to me, is part of this cult that even Rusty's talking about. So I'm Christian. I'm not Catholic. I was baptized Roman Catholic, but I'm Christian because my relationship's direct with God. And Rusty, those weren't spidey senses. That was your creator, in my opinion.
And she couldn't have been more right. This is a conclusion that I drawn for myself a long time ago, that God and you, the relationship is private. It doesn't belong to anybody else. There's no third party needed. You do not need a person to sit between you and God. If somebody wants to sit between you and God, they're charlatans. They're trying to sell you something that you do not need. And I think this is why people are so disconnected as Christians, because we don't have that personal relationship with God. We expect our pastors, our preachers to be our connection to God. It is not. Those pastors, I just take those pastors as leaders or professional Bible. They know their Bibles. They can interpret scriptures in ways that maybe I don't understand. This is what I see about a pastor. But at the end of the day, they're just leading a congregation filled with pastors, and they're trying to gather them under the same roof. But you do not get to God through them. You can get to God wherever you are. It does not matter where you are. It's a personal, I have a very strong personal relationship with my God. No third person needed. My wife has a very personal relationship with God that is probably not like mine at all. And that's the beauty of the thing, right? But you don't need somebody in between you and God. And that's the biggest problem. This is why religions are so powerful. As soon as you have somebody trying to tell you what God is or how your relationship with him should be, worry about it.
Yeah, and we're not ashamed. We pray in public before meals, and we have conversations with friends. And one of our best friends, fantastic conversation with her. This was over Thanksgiving at her place. She's got a really, really great brain. Very, really smart person.
You know who you are. You're watching right now.
Yeah, we love your tallow. But no, very stimulating conversation. And I'm glad that this is a door that's opening now. One of the pushbacks I got a couple days ago when we were changing church, and the people that I originally went to church with, I felt welcomed, but I didn't feel like I belonged, if you understand the difference.
Yeah. Oh, yes. I know what that means.
They were happy to have me there, but I wasn't one of them. But we kept going because I wanted my kids to be exposed to Christianity in the church. But it turns out they said things like politics and religion don't mix. Like, whoa, like these are the two topics that we really should be focusing on. One is our faith, and the other one is how our future is laid before us, and this is what we have to kind of work on. You don't focus and let the God, not the God, but the government God pave the way for you. You got to be willing to take that path yourself. But politics and religion should mix, and these are the two topics that they keep telling us to stop talking about. Don't bring politics or religion to the table. Don't bring politics or religion to your friends. I think that time is changed. I think it's time that we do exactly that.
Yeah.
And the people who have trouble with that, they're the ones that need to wake up. And this may be a new type of woke. There may be religious woke. People that are just completely asleep, still at the wheel of the power of religion and what it can do for their lives. And that could actually be our next challenge, is to go ahead and wake up the religious woke. And I think that's exactly what your show is going to start doing. And I've never been ashamed of being Christian and talk about God. Every show ends with a God bless, because that's the last word. The last word is God bless, because I want you to remember that's where we're coming from. That's who we look up to. It's not our government. It's not our fans. It's not our subscribers. We look up to God, 100%.
Couldn't have said it better. And the thing I found interesting, that I find interesting about religion and politics not being discussed anymore, is every single person I've ever met in my life has an opinion on both, yet they don't want to discuss it. We all have an opinion. It's one of those subjects that there's no gray area. You have a political opinion and you have a religious opinion. No matter if I agree with it or not, you have an opinion. Yet we're not supposed to talk about it? Yet no. There's a good reason why they don't want to talk. They don't want us to talk about it, because imagine if you had politically informed, morally sound individuals. That is problematic for a government that wants to distract you with the World Series while they're trying to pass censorship bills. They're trying not to do deals with the US. At the man, this is bread and circus, brother. The 2,000-year-old trick from the Roman Empire is still well and alive today. And guess what? If you had a lot of more people like us that are ready to put their political opinions out there based on Christian faith, we would be a hard society to control, if possible at all.
Yeah, and that's one of the Charlie Kirk quotes, and I think this was what woke up the beast, was the Charlie Kirk incident, really, because he said, he was asked, like, if your time comes, what do you want to be remembered for? And it's his faith. He said his faith is what he wants to be, a good advocate for his faith, someone who believed in his faith and stood on his faith and, provided it to the world. That's what he wants to be remembered for, and that's exactly happening. I think that's exactly happening. Sad that he's gone, but the consequence, what's the fallout from it, might actually be a reawakening. So I'm kind of pleased about that, and I'm really glad that you're stepping up. Certainly would help you with the show, help you with guests. We're
Send me
God
everybody
brothers
you
here, buddy.
think, anybody you think I should speak to, have them on, because we need to hear their stories, their personal stories. I want to make it extremely personal. I don't want to do it just a fluff piece. I really want them to open up and inspire others to step up, either in their families, at work, in their communities, on a larger level, whatever it means to them, but to put faith in God and just stop thinking about it. Just do. Just do.
I think Rob and Melissa McKee for sure.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
I didn't even think...
they're already in that backstage. So if you're in the backstage, just reach out to Melissa. She's there. And to Trevor, I've seen a couple of his posts now. Your loved ones are with God. That will assist you on some of that. Your loved ones may be gone, but they're with God right now. So I'm sorry to hear about that. And Trevor, mentioned he's being tested a lot. And you're still here.
Good.
So thank you very much.
Good, because you can take it, bro. Because you can take it.
Yeah.
If you're being tested, it's because you can take it. I have no doubt about that. Absolutely zero doubt that whatever's being thrown at you, you can take it. You can take it. You're going to be right.
And I love his last comment here. The discussion is what brings me back to the show. Please keep coming back. You're always welcome. And hopefully you feel like you belong. That's a very important step as well. So Nico, hang out. We're going to go hang out with our locals there in a moment. But thanks for coming on. This has been a fantastic, uplifting episode. I feel good when we do episodes like this. And when you get Pastor Plosky on, have a prayer. Like he loves to give a good prayer. So
Hildebrandt too.
Hildebrandt, yes. Pastor Henry Hildebrandt is another good one. I'll just go through my list. I'll send you a
Yeah.
bunch of names.
Sounds
And,
good to me, man.
And we just created a new term. You're my god brother.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah. There's godfathers out there and godmothers, but he's a god brother.
There you
He's
go.
somebody
There you
that
go.
believes in God, and we're like brothers. All right, Nico, hang on, and we'll be right back with you. All right, there you are, folks. I hope you enjoyed that episode. This is something that we shouldn't be ashamed or abashed about. We should absolutely hold our religion forward, keep that faith, and don't be ashamed. Even when people tell you, I would prefer your show without it, keep doing it.
Yeah, no, I agree. It'd be loud and proud because this is what you're basing your character on, your way of life, your being on. So I would agree too.
And look what happened in the schools. They took religion out, even just the Lord's Prayer, and put in radicalization. So they now have clown faces.
They put different religions in. They took out Christianity and they put in different religions instead. And then, yeah, that was it.
Yep. So let's fight back on this one just by saying what we feel. So have yourself a wonderful day.
Yeah, everyone have a fantastic day, and I'll see you tomorrow morning.
Take care of yourself, and God bless.